Da, da, theme song, theme song. Da, da, da.
I'm Tanya,
I'm Nikki.
and we're 1,000 Eyes on One, the
The podcast.
podcast.
Yeah. I'm going to use my chimes next time.
Still loving on some Wheel of Time.
Smooch, smooch.
Today is season 3, episode 5, Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yes.
For previous episodes, find us at thousandeyespod.bsky.social. On YouTube, you can find us at 1,000 Eyes in One Podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are 1,000 Eyes in One on Instagram and Facebook, 1,000 Eyes Pod on Blue Sky, and if you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, follow Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.
The dream space.
Tel'aran'rhiod.
Can we just call it Telly?
I was calling it Tar.
Tar?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Tar. But well, that could confuse with like Tar Valad and Tardad.
Well, now that you say that.
uh,
I'm just gonna say the whole thing every time. It's like a pimp
okay.
name slip back.
Yeah, okay. I fucks with it.
All
I
right,
fucks with it.
cool, cool. We
Cool.
open up with Moiraine practicing with Sarkarnan and nearly
Girl,
losing her damn life. Girl, are you crazy?
I was like, what is you doing and why is no one spying on you?
It's so fun to see the difference in her using it
Hmm.
and the Aes Sedai who used it long ago.
Yeah.
Because the old Aes Sedai, she had so much control. She knew exactly what to do. She used it with complete ease. And
Hmm.
Moiraine is fighting for her life.
Yeah, out here with that uncut product and scratching. Like, you feel that? What does that feel like to you, Lan? Scratch, 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 neck twitch.
Yeah, it's beating her ass and tearing up the desert.
Girl.
I guess we have to see if she masters it eventually.
Yeah, and who is powerful enough to use it?
Nynaeve.
Like, I was just gonna say that. Is it Nynaeve and Egwene? Nynaeve. Can't wait to get to her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's giving One Ring to rule them all because she was holding it close to her like my precious. And Lan is looking at her like, yo, I felt that shit through the bond too, but are we sure this is safe?
Yeah, it seems like a way she could accidentally kill herself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like when you link with a channeler
Mm-hmm.
and
Like,
burn the
what if
fuck
she
up.
draws in too much of the one power using it?
Imagine linking with someone. Whew, it just blew my mind a little bit. I like the swirls and the
That
colors
was
though.
the sangreal that Lanfear was talking about. Last time I was saying I thought she mentioned one that both men and women can use, but I was wrong. It was one just for women that she was talking about, and it was
Hmm.
Sarkarnan. I went back and looked.
Yeah.
So she's on the hunt for this so she can break out of her oaths.
Hmm.
I wonder why she hasn't. Oh, I guess Maureen knows how to guard her dreams. I was gonna say I wonder why she hasn't
Yeah.
visited Maureen's dreams, but she probably knows how
Yeah.
to.
Maureen's got them on
Yeah,
lock.
yeah. So we go off to Ta'aradad. It's actually exactly how I pictured it from reading the books.
Really?
Yeah, I was really excited about that. I was like, this is how I pictured it.
It reminded me of Vase Dothrak. Just like the same vibe. Like this is the community and we're gonna hold up here and everything is peaceful and happy. Yeah.
Hold rocks hold, they called it.
Hold rocks hold.
And Avianja's about to become a tutor.
That bitch doing penance.
She's so pissed about it.
When her face dropped, because she was behind them being all snarky. Well, if he would now, they're like, well, you were with him the whole time. You had the opportunity. He is a Karakarn, and you still haven't changed your mind. So guess what, boo? I love that. Yeah, I mean, she had it coming, honestly. She really did. I like that she's forced into this because Rand has nothing against her, and he never has. He was
Hmm.
like, why don't you just help me?
Right.
Why don't you just help me? And now she has to just help him, even though she's still kind of being a jerk about it. Eat with your right hand. Constantly rolling her eyes. She's given naive. And we said that last time, but she is.
We learn a little bit about their culture, like that they have thruples.
Yeah.
And did you see Maureen's face? She was like, hmm? Like, don't act brand new to
Hmm?
this.
I know. I'm speaking my language. I'm speaking my language though.
And we meet little Alcera, the great daughter of Ruark.
Before I watched the episode, Tanya was like, there's going to be something in this episode that makes me mad. And like, my silly brain was like, I wonder if it's that terrible lace front that that child is wearing.
Nope,
Because,
that's
oh
not
my
it.
God. And then I watched it. I was like, okay, I think I know what it is. Ruark, the zaddy, meow, by the way, um, and his wife. And I had a question. Can Leanne dream?
Leanne.
Yeah, what's her name? Ruark's other wife.
Oh yeah, Leon. I don't think she's a wise one.
Because she was like, I knew that you guys were coming, or she said something that made me go, wait a second, how did you know that if they just got here? And it made me wonder, maybe they visited her in a dream to let her know.
Maybe because they
Yeah,
can go to other people's dreams.
yeah. I was like, this bitch is well informed.
Yeah, maybe they just visited her and told her.
Yeah. Also, what is up with the royalty-free music again? It's so distracting to me, Tanya. Like it really is. I'm like, I don't know, maybe they have a new MD.
No, I think it's the same person. I think they've just like modernized it, maybe.
I don't like it. It's like really distracting to me.
Hmm.
I promise this will be the last time I say that, but it takes me out of the story completely.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not no longer immersive. Remember when Rand walks off and he's chasing the great daughter? He runs away and like other kids join in, and Egwene is looking and watching them, and Bear is like, "Hey, you know what? Your time for doing that is over." For me, I was like, you know what? Egwene is like watching her old future run away from her. You know, this is
Mm.
no longer her future. Like this was what she was supposed to be doing with Rand, and I feel like in that moment she's really accepting that she's going on a different path.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I
Mm.
hadn't remembered that that happened.
Yeah, just reading into
I
everything.
remember thinking like, why did he just run off like that? He didn't
And
know
why
where they
did
were
he let they
going.
let him run and trust? That's a lot of trust for those people to have with their children.
Like he just runs off. Like, okay.
As we don't know. I mean, I know that you guys are comfortable with the fact that he's gonna break and fix the world, but like
He's also like a budding madman.
yeah. Like, what if he accidentally channels? Like, I don't know. There's a whole lot of trust there, which I appreciate, but I'm also side-eyeing. Because if some man that I just met runs after my nephews, I am running after him. There's no way. Anyway, Shuan in her study,
Suan in her study, which looks like a fisherwoman's hut, apparently.
allegedly.
Elida
Oh,
is so disgusted. She's like, where are the plush carpets? Where is the fine furniture? Where are the silk drapings? Like, what is going on in here?
she came in with the shade like a strip club where you're like with the money.
But it wasn't even shade. It was just straight out insult. Like, she wasn't even trying
Yeah,
to be shady. She was just,
yeah.
she called her river trash
River
with a
trash.
smile on her face.
Ew.
Like, bitch, do you want to fight?
Their games are making me nervous as fuck. They really are. I know that you're trying to throw her off balance, and I know that you have information that she doesn't have, but is this really the way to go about it? But I mean, she's coming in and she's like swinging her tits around, you know?
She came in kind of hot.
And her smell preceded her, her
I
powdered
know.
roses.
She's lived this life at court for so long.
Hmm. She clearly could never have been Blue Aja.
No. And it's interesting. I wonder what she would have been like as the Amerlin had she won. I think she would have been cruel.
And ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, as we see later. But like, I think the point of her visit was to shake her up, and it works.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say she
works.
was successful.
Does Suan know that she's a seer?
I don't know.
And I think that the front that she put on, like, she affected this confidence, but it would be making me nervous. She should now be wary, even more wary of Elida because she's like, I'm gonna call a vote of no confidence on you, bitch. And like, what gives you the steel to say, hey, I actually have the support to do that? Because we don't know Elida very well, but it looks like she doesn't make moves without understanding what's going on and testing the waters first.
Let's stay on Elida and just
Good.
skip around a bit
Let me
because
fast forward to my notes about her.
because I feel like I can't start talking about Elida and then move on.
No, she's too juicy.
She's too juicy.
She's too juicy.
She's a mouthful.
Yeah. So she's talking to, what's her name? Alivarian?
Alviarin.
Alviarin.
Yeah, she's seeking allies.
And the white Aja was like, listen, we don't side with anything except for logic, and shout out to that costume.
Beautiful.
I was like, this has got Tanya written all over it with like the
The
side cape.
draping. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know me.
Okay.
You know me. I was like, yes, I kept going back like I need to I need a dress like this.
Yeah, right? Like, why, what are we doing?
You know I love a cape.
Mm-hmm. But it's like you see what she's doing, and they talk about setting this trap for her. And Elida, she walks right into it.
Let's talk about the trap real quick. So Varen gets a visit from Lyanna,
Mm-hmm.
and she explains to them the hearts from Lyanna and the Amerlin, and she explains to them hearts, the groups of Black
Yes.
Aja, and how Leandrin had like connections to four, and so there were 12 Black sisters.
Is it Liana or is it Leanne? Because now I'm confused. There's two little Liana names.
Some I think they pronounce it Liana.
Okay,
I was saying Leanne because of the spelling, but I
got
think
it.
they were pronouncing it Liana.
So from now on, we're spelling in our notes phonetically.
So they realized that there should be 12 Black Aja sisters and
Hmm.
only 11 are accounted for. So there must be
Yeah.
one more. And
Hmm.
Liana suspects that Elida is number 12 because she showed up just after they left
Yeah.
and she thinks that can't be a coinky dink.
And I think it's too convenient. I think it's too convenient because you know who I'm suspicious of?
Who?
Adelaus.
Really?
Yes. Yes,
Why?
I am super suspicious of her because of the way that they're like making these plans, right? And she's sitting there, they're trying to communicate, and Varen is like really taking care of her. But the way that she kind of chomped on the little thingy after her tea when they're walking out, I was like, you know what? I don't trust her. I really
Really?
don't. I don't. I know I
Are
don't.
you scarred because of Raven slash Gabriel?
Um, Maybe. I mean, I wrote that I'm definitely super suspicious of everybody at this point, and I love how they've set that up to for us to feel like that. But there's just something about it.
But she's been
I think it's
attacked and
closer
her
to home.
mind broken. Like, why would she be Black Aja? Why would they do that to one of their own?
I think that's part of the deal.
And she also wasn't in the tower this for years
So where was she?
with Varen at their house.
I mean, what better way than to plant somebody with the person who's like in charge of research?
But she's also a researcher.
hmm I'm suspicious of her. I
I
am.
I'm not.
Yeah. I think she's eating her snacks too eagerly.
I am not suspicious of Adelaus at all, but we'll see. In any case, Adelaus is the bait.
Yes.
And I wondered how cognizant she is of like the danger.
Who?
Adelaus.
I think she knows very well.
Well, that's because you think she's Black Aja. I don't
Yeah.
think she's Black Aja. I just don't. So they send her out so she can like let slip that
Hmm.
those sisters are down in the 13th depository.
Yeah, depository.
And Elida bites at it. She's like, oh, that's where Varen's been sneaking off to.
I feel like sometimes she's so calculated, but I think you bring up a good point about the fact that she's been at court for so long because you can read that in all of her movements, and they're not as clever as she thinks they are.
Hmm.
Um, I think that sometimes they're very obvious, and it makes you wonder if she intends for them to be obvious and that's throwing them off the track, but I don't think so.
I think
I don't
she's
think
used
so.
to being around fools who love flattery.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
think of when I think of like a royal court. Is a bunch of people
Yeah.
who want to be flattered, and she knows how to do that to get what she wants
Yeah.
in that setting.
I agree. I agree. But she falls for it,
She
and
falls
they
for it,
sneak, sneak, sneak down there.
goes down to the dungeons,
Oh,
slits a throat immediately. Like, I believe you. You're not going to talk. Slit.
mm-mm.
What did you think then? Like, what
I
did
I
you
was
think
just
she
like,
might be
oh,
Black Aja
no,
still?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't think she was Black Aja. I think that she just has no time for bullshit. She's like, you know what? This one's a waste of time. You can't even channel anymore. You've been stilled. You're useless to me.
Right. Like
Yeah.
you're devoted to the cause. I believe you. You're not going to tell. Moving on.
Yeah. Like you're clearly Black Aja. Got it. And that's what Suan was hoping for. She's like, well, she might dispose of them.
Yeah. One of the things that I saw a lot online were people saying that she broke the oath. She
I'm
broke one
glad
of
that
the
she
three
said that.
oaths because she used the one power as a weapon. Because when Moraine talks about it, she says they can use it like in defense of themselves or another sister
Mhm.
or whatever. But she left out the part where you can use it against a dark friend.
Okay. Yeah,
They
that's what I was wondering.
Right. And I wonder if they did that on purpose to make it seem like she broke one of the oaths, because if you can
Hmm.
break one of the oaths, then you're definitely Black Aja.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wonder if that was on purpose to make us think she broke one of the oaths when in fact you can use it as a weapon against a dark friend. They don't have to be attacking you.
Yeah, it didn't seem that way to me because I was like, well, they're down here, they're prisoners, and it's is it breaking an oath if they have violated the tower and broken their own oaths? You know what I mean?
But they weren't
It's just
fighting
like
her.
they weren't fighting her, but they're still in defense. I would say that she's acting in defense of everything that I said I stand for.
See, I feel like that would be too abstract. She's not fighting. They don't have powers. Like you just straight up murdered one of them. Like
Clearly,
I don't think that you could use like legalese in this sense. I think that I
this
think
is
that
this
the
is the
oath rod,
loophole.
yeah, I think the oath rod kind of settles that, you can't just
Yeah,
use it as a weapon, but they're dark friends, so she's able to do it.
yeah. Well, good and good riddance. Because that one was like holding fast.
Yeah, she was
You're
committed.
unshakable, unshakable. And I would love to know. I mean, I guess she just believes in the dark, but I would have loved to know a little bit of how she got turned um, to the dark side.
She seems like she was just a bitch all along.
Remember when she was fake crying about? hmm
Hmm.
I wish she switched that off.
Yeah, I feel like she was probably a total bitch this whole time. And everybody knew it. They didn't think
Bye,
Black
Felicia.
Aja, but they were like, "Oh, I hate."
Yeah.
What was that? That one was Amiko.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I hate Amiko."
Yeah. Bye. Um, but the other chick,
Get a little torture popping
yo, like imagine just like being just like broken in that way and then like having your neck kind of like tilted and chained to the ground. Like how uncomfortable and painful must that be?
Yeah, and she definitely is the one who's gonna break. And just as she's about to, another fucking gray man out of the
Mhm.
shadows. I was like so thrown off when she just started getting stabbed because I was like, oh my God, who's she about to say? Like they
Yeah.
absolutely caught me with this. Like I was
Yeah.
ready and like on, practically on my tippy toes. Like who is she about to give up? And is it someone we know? And then boom, she gets shanked in the spine.
Yo, like so quickly, I was just like, and I really love about the gray men that you don't really notice them, you know. So this motherfucker snuck all the way down to the 13th depository without being seen. How long has he been there?
Right.
You know, like has he been there waiting to see if he's gonna talk? Wait, has he been down there waiting to see if she's gonna talk? Did he just get there? Who knows?
Who knows? And Elida didn't even see him approaching,
Mm-mm,
and she was facing in
mm-mm.
that direction.
Dude, like they get scarier every time we encounter them.
Because there could be one behind me right now.
Ah! Tanya, no!
So the gray man stabs the absolute shit out of Elida. Luckily,
Yo,
Suana and Liana were there waiting to see what she was gonna do. So now
hmm
we know that Elida is not Black Aja.
for sure.
She's not Black
But,
Aja.
but,
But what?
but she just got one more card in her deck to use against Suan. Like she's willing to give up a sister.
Who's willing to give up a sister?
The Amerlin seat.
I mean,
Like
that's the
she
kind
healed
of
her and stuff, but I'm like, she's totally going to use this against her.
use it against her how? What do you mean?
She's like, okay, we know that you're holding the Black Aja down in 13th Depository, but she was willing to put my life at risk and to set me up to, I guess, set her up to test her loyalties. But like, I don't know. I guess she couldn't have known that the danger was down there.
Yeah,
But
she didn't know like a gray man was
yeah,
going to show up and stab her. But
but
I would think that Elida would respect that setup and that ruthlessness.
hmm,
That, you
maybe.
know, I would think that Elida would be like, oh shit, you caught me in a trap. All
Yeah,
right, you got me.
yeah. I guess so. I still see it coming back to bite her in the ass.
I think they might work together now.
Yeah?
I think so because I think that Suan
Oh.
now realizes Elida is not Black Aja.
Mm-hmm.
Elida realizes Suan is serious about this shit
Yeah.
and is
Yeah.
willing to sacrifice a sister who she thinks is Black Aja. Like she's not playing games with this. And
Yeah.
I think
Okay, that's fair.
I think Elida might have a newfound respect for her. I think. We'll
I
see.
think. Yeah. Ugh, they keep throwing us off our game, guys.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
is sacred. And it made me also wonder, where's Morgedian? Morgedian? Is
Oh,
she
who
still in
knows? Tenchika?
Tanchico?
Maybe. Who
Who
knows?
knows? Who knows? I guess that she could just like make a gray man and just dispatch them and be like,
Yeah, that's
haha,
what she's
go.
been doing. She just makes them and dispatches them.
Man, I wonder how many she's got. I guess she's just got a never ending supply because she could just be like, you over there.
And remember, they're powerful enough that they're just like transporting themselves through portals.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah,
not operating
that's
from the
true.
same rules as these other people. She can probably go between Tarvalon and Tenchico as she feels like it.
Could she just like portal into the 13th depository then, if she wanted to?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I imagine the tower probably has, nope, the tower probably
Yeah.
has some kind of protections.
Yeah, but they had all these dark friends in there all along.
That's true, but they weren't portaling. They like
Hmm.
lived there.
Yeah,
And also, does Moghedien actually care about the Black Aja? Or does she
probably
care
not.
about just killing some people and like getting to the Dragon Reborn?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she cares about the supporters and the
She's
fans.
she's
I think it
I
was
love her.
I think it was a Shamael who cared about the fans.
Hmm. Yeah. Look at how many subscribers I have. Yeah, I like she might be a new favorite villain. I'm not saying that she's ranked in like my top 10, but I'm really enjoying watching her little web spread out and be super effective.
Yeah. Yeah, these gray men are crazy. Well, then again, now I'm saying why I was saying does she even care about them? But she cares enough to send a gray man to not reveal
Hmm.
the other names to silence them. So maybe she cares.
Maybe the Black Aja that's remaining is in her pocket.
Maybe.
But they were locked up. Huh.
But people didn't know they were down there.
Yeah. No, I mean the Forsaken.
Oh yeah, you're right. So how would she? Well, I guess they would
Yeah.
have had to have contacted after she was released the same way as Shamael did.
Yeah. Huh. So many questions.
Because if the gray men come from Moghedien, if that is accurate, that she really is the only one who can create them and dispatch them, then that gray man was sent by her.
Yeah.
Unless she has like a second level of like, here are some gray men, dispatch as
Yeah.
needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's not the first one who's in the tower.
No, this is the second one in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably
Well, well,
walked in
well.
in the front door.
In the front door. They're just like walking in, carrying a bucket of water,
Like imagine a gray
doing
man
chores.
approaching Suan's study.
Oh my God.
How
Yeah.
many people would he pass that
On
nobody
the way
really
there.
notices?
Yeah. I mean, he was right behind Moraine. I mean, in a distance, but like
Right.
he was right there. So would Liana sense him?
I mean, I feel like she'd see him face to face. But
Yeah.
then what? Would she just
Yeah.
like forget he's there until he
Oh,
stabs her?
oh my God. I would like be walking around with a little force field up around me.
Just constantly touching the
Just
source.
constantly, constantly.
The gray men are pretty scary when you really think about it.
Dude, I'm terrified.
Like they don't have superpowers. They just stab you.
They just stab you.
But you could be standing right next to one.
They like walk in with your DoorDash delivery guy.
Yeah, and you just ignore them. And then he's stabbing you all of a sudden, and you're just like, where did this come from?
Ah! Yeah, no, awful. Imagine if they rode the subway.
You saying they don't? I'm positive there are gray men on the subway. With some of the crimes we hear about, like
Mind the closing doors.
there are absolutely gray men on the subway day
Yeah,
and
right.
night.
The conductor on the train is like, stop holding the doors open. It's a gray man. Nobody's like, why? No one's holding the door open.
Right, right. Or like when you hear about people getting pushed on the tracks and then they don't know who did it.
Yeah, it's
Gray
gray
man.
man. Yeah, yeah.
There are gray men in New York City. Is that a shocker though?
No, not at all. All right. So, gray men are terrifying. And let's see what happens with Suan and Elida.
Yeah, I see them possibly working together, realizing that they're not each other's enemy. Because this whole time, Swan has suspected Elida of being Black Aja, and
Mm-hmm.
Elida is suspecting Swan of being impotent
Impotent.
as
Yeah.
Amerlin.
Weak and like having lost vision of their cause.
Right. And now
But you
she
know,
knows Swan is about this shit. If she's willing to set me up, she's
yeah,
willing to lock these sisters up, she's willing to get people killed.
yeah, yeah. But you know, it's something I don't know if I mentioned it any of the other times, but someone I'm keeping a close eye on is Liana because it seems like she's like slowly becoming disgruntled.
You think so?
I do. I do. I don't think she's been happy with a lot of the decisions that are being made, and she's not being heard necessarily.
Hmm.
I feel like she keeps being dismissed. Not that she's turning Black Aja,
Hmm.
but I feel like something is going to happen, a push come to shove, that's going to make her do something that's not in line with what they not that she's going to sell them out, but I'm starting to, I mean, everybody's making me nervous.
Yeah.
Everyone's making me nervous, but I keep watching her be dismissed. And, I know what that feels like. So eventually something's got to give.
Maybe she'll do something huge that they can't ignore. And then everybody's like,
Maybe she'll vote
you
against
think she would?
Siobhan.
I don't think she
Mhm.
would. I feel like she would sacrifice herself for Suan still.
Yeah. She's so gorgeous.
She is so gorgeous. Like, I really hope she lives just because I like looking at her.
Me too.
Like, please make it to the end.
Hmm.
You're too pretty to die.
Oh.
Let's talk about the IL.
Mm. I would love to sit on the ground and just like eat food and lounge around and be fed by my lovers. These are my dreams. I love a picnic.
I do love a picnic.
You
Yeah.
know, great daughter is like so proud of herself. She's like, Randolph Thor, Randolph Thor, Randolph Thor. I
I know.
grew
I
that
grew this
squash. Do you
squash.
like it?
She's so cute.
So
I saw
cute.
I so I cannot remember what her role is or if she has an important role, but people were putting a lot of focus on her online. And so now I'm like, okay, she's
Mm.
probably going to serve some kind of purpose.
I can see that being a thing because, we get her. I forgot what her name is, but she
Oh,
gets named
Sarah.
Alcera. We learn Alcera's name. We know that she is the great daughter of Zaddy, and she's sitting at the table with like the most important people
Hmm.
in that settlement village town, and she's allowed to speak freely. And I guess that's probably the ideal way. But, she's doted upon. And so I'm wondering, like, is this a girl who gets kidnapped? Is this like something has to happen to her? Because Rand is obviously really quickly developing a fondness for her. So
Yeah.
I see her being a piece that's going to come up in play soon.
Branda's going to have to do something that involves
Mm-hmm.
her, like saving her,
Saving her, exactly. Exactly.
channeling dangerously to save her,
Mm-hmm.
channeling dangerously, accidentally hurting her.
Ooh, yikes. Maybe she accidentally channels in her own defense.
That's too many channelers.
Too many too many
Too
Chandlers.
many cooks.
Yeah. So yeah, she's definitely important. And I think oh, maybe she becomes the reason that Avienda finally trusts Rand.
Oh, he proves himself somehow
Mm-hmm.
involving her.
Saves his people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could totally see that being a thing. I am super interested in Alcera, and I look forward to seeing more of her because we don't really get that many cute kids.
No, we
And I
don't.
love a cute kid, especially one who's part of an important family. Like, what is her role when she gets older? She would be a badass spear maiden. I could tell that already.
It seems like their roles are earned in the
Mm,
AOA. Like clan leaders, it's not like your son becomes the next clan leader. You have to go into Ridian.
yeah, which I love.
So who knows what her role could be later in her life, should she have a later in life. Dun
Mm.
dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
We have Melindra chatting with Lan. Moraine was being kind of weird. Did you pick up on that?
I did pick up on that. Do you think Moraine is attracted to her? Because I feel like she had a little bubble of hope when Lamb was like, you deserve some fun too.
You know what? All right. I just thought of this now because you said that. I
Hmm.
think perhaps she is attracted to her, but it makes her think of Suan because she even said she hadn't been with someone
Mm,
else in so long, at
yeah.
least 20 years.
Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty.
So I wonder if
Yeah.
it's like making her miss Suan, miss what they had.
I could see that being a thing. Yeah, it was driving me crazy trying to figure out who this woman was with her glowing skin. And she was the mom in Ragnarok. That Norwegian thing about Thor.
Oh,
Yeah, it was driving me insane. I'm like, who is this woman? And then I paused it because it's on Prime and it says everybody's names, and I Googled it. And I was like, yo, please also season 3. I want it so bad. That
of
show was really
Ragnarok.
great. Yeah.
In any case, Moraine's being weird. I know she has a lot on her mind, but she's she's in a place. Well, also she's thinking about Ruidian and the fact that she's has to die.
Yeah. Thinking about Ruidian, but I also think that she's kind of feeding for the Sakar. She wants to hold it in her hands and practice again. Like when you have that much power, just like unbridled power, and like that Lan said it feels like euphoric. Like I want to do that too. It's like when you eat a marshmallow and put it on the table, you're gonna go back for another bite because there's marshmallows on the table.
There's a marshmallow on my desk right now, and you said that, and I'm like,
Your mussy got wet.
my mussy got wet.
Yeah, Tanya yesterday told me that she salivated over something and said her mussy got wet, and her husband was appalled.
Yeah, he didn't
But
like that at all.
but
He,
I quickly integrated into my lexicon because I think it's genius.
so that's what we're saying for now on. I looked at that marshmallow and my mussy got wet. Egwene is going to begin dream walking. I've been
Mm.
really excited for this because this is something that I did know about from the books
Hmm.
that Egwene was going to get into dream walking. It happens a
Yeah.
little bit differently in the books. She's given a sangreal to use to like help facilitate it, and it's
Hmm.
something that she, Nynaeve, and Elaine practice together.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, and so they take turns dream walking,
Who's the
and
best at
then
it?
Egwene, I think,
Okay.
but Egwene goes off to the Aiel. Nynaeve and Elaine keep the Sangreal and they meet dreamwalking.
Oh, cute.
Like yeah, they like meet in dreams to talk to each other and it's like a
Little group
whole
chat.
other yeah, exactly. It's like the dreamwalking group chat. Like but they're not supposed to be doing it and they keep telling Egwene not to do it. So I hope that doesn't end up being a spoiler because they haven't shown them doing any dreamwalking. So I'm assuming the show isn't
No.
gonna do that.
Yeah, no, and okay.
Because
I
they
can see
they
that.
didn't show Nynaeve and Elaine having anything to do with
Any
dreams,
dreams?
so I don't think that's going to be something the show does. So I don't think that's spoilery, right?
I don't think so. And if it did, God damn you, Tanya. Yeah, I mean, okay, so my hackles are already up because we know Egwene has developed her rebellious streak. right? She
Yeah,
went through the arches and like, fuck you, I'm out. And now she's learning something, but once she learns the power of it and just like basic protection, she's like, okay, okay, yeah,
I
I'll
got
do
this.
this. But like, I would be so afraid of running into the person who has been stalking me.
Well, she does. We find out though, last time I was saying wise ones can channel.
Yeah,
I thought that that was what like
like
distinguishes them.
universal.
Right.
Hmm.
But we find out that they cannot all channel. Some are
Nope.
dream walkers, and that dream walking is not part of the one power.
Yeah, it's not.
So that's an interesting
Anybody can
thing.
do it. I love the part where Mulaney is like, hey, I can dream walk as well as her, but ha ha ha, sometimes wetlanders touch Telly and then they wonder why they die in their sleep.
Yeah. See, her telling me that would have already made me want to behave myself at night and not go dream
No,
walking, but we already know these kids learn nothing. They have
nothing.
learned
I
nothing in 2 years.
I put that they do nothing in moderation.
No.
Like they set up guardrails and they're like, ooh, let me kick that over. Ow, my toe hurts. Like I can't with them. And I really want her to be able to master it because I feel like it's going to be super, super important. But like, she accidentally goes to the bad place like immediately. And I was like, oh, what are those things running around? So she could just like see
It was
ghosts.
so spooky, right? And it's like,
So,
oh, it's people's dreams slightly touching Tel'aran'rhiod.
yeah, like I get my dolly. Oh,
That was so creepy.
oh my God. Dolls are always creepy.
And so not all dreams are in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah, which I find fascinating.
Yeah, it's its own like dimension
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where you can get killed. And Egwene meets her torturer.
Girl. She's like,
Happy to see you here.
I've been waiting.
He wants to kill her
Do,
so bad.
do you think that she knew, that Lanfear knew that she was a dreamwalker?
No,
No?
I don't think Lanfear knew she was a dreamwalker. Because
Does she
Lanfear
know
was
now?
visit. Well, now she knows because she met her in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah,
Lanfear was just entering her dreams before. That was
right.
outside of Tel'aran'rhiod.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, now she knows,
Now
and
she
she
knows they
like
can
does
meet
not
up.
miss an opportunity to choke the shit out of her.
She was like, "Oh, sweet, you're here. I'll choke you to death now."
And then lucky for Egwene, the pin drops. Man. And then they know, they're like, hold on, hold on, hold on. We knew that it was one of the Shadow Sold.
If you tell me that I'm being stalked by something called the Shadow Sold, I don't know
Girl,
that I'd ever fall asleep again.
what's that shit that they give you in Freddy Krueger? Just those stay awake pills. Like 100% getting addicted to speed and
Like
never going to bed.
Freddy Krueger is coming for you personally. Like he knows your name and he has a vendetta against you. Good
Like
luck.
tapping his finger is just waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, it's like, all right, anyway, good night.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to go to sleep. Like I think I'd rather go crazy with sleep deprivation than to have to face land fear.
Yeah, but
But
either way you die though, right?
yeah, but I did have a little sprig of hope sprout because she did face and kill Renna. Not that she's as powerful as Lanfear, but we do know that she is a powerful channeler.
Who, Rena?
No, Egwene.
Oh yeah, Egwene. I was gonna say
Yeah.
Rena's not a powerful channeler at
No, no,
all.
not Renna. She was subpar at best. But yeah, and the other thing that was interesting to me was that she got scared and suddenly she was in armor, which I loved.
Mm,
I was like, so maybe she's going to learn to get the tools to protect herself. But girl, slow your roll. You're not there yet.
slow your roll.
Dream walking. Like I would be excited about it too, but
I think it's a thing that all of them, except maybe Perrin, have shown is that they just refuse to fucking listen and they think they know everything. At every turn, they all
at
think
every
they know
turn.
everything. The minute they learn something, they think, all right, cool, now I know everything. I can go off on my own. And it's like, no, you don't
Yeah,
even know what you don't know.
exactly.
And it's
Except
a,
for Rand now,
yeah,
who
but
knows that he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
he's still doing stupid things that show that he is not learning from these experiences either.
Yeah. Tisk tisk, shame, shame.
I mean,
Just gonna lead to
let's
more
talk about
trouble.
it. Why is Rand still meeting a Forsaken every night and
Every
hanging out with
night.
her?
Just
Why
like,
does he trust the Forsaken more than Moiraine? Because she gave him some pussy?
yeah.
Like, that's it?
Like good pussy, not like my first love pussy. Like cougar
That
pussy,
old
you know?
seasoned.
It's been on the grill a few times, you know? Like she turned him out. She turned him out. And I think that he feels whatever part of him that used to be loose there and feels that she really does love him, you know? And as he feels Egwene growing apart, he's
But
like
even
maybe
the Luz Theron
substituting.
part had already broken up with her and married someone else.
Maybe he just feels sorry for her that she was done so dirty.
But she's a Forsaken. She's like a demon. And
But he
you are
doesn't know that
meeting,
she's been torturing his girl on the side.
he doesn't know that she's been torturing his girl, but he knows that she's a Forsaken, like the
Mhm.
scariest demons in history.
But as far as he knows, she keeps looking out for him and protecting him,
How?
except for the time that she turned into the demon while they were fucking.
But how has she protected him?
Giving him insight?
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe he
exactly.
kind of loves her too. It's a
Yeah, but
toxic
like
relationship.
it's very toxic. That's my point. It's very toxic. You are dating a Forsaken and you're visiting a Forsaken every night, somebody who is a master of lies and
Hmm.
manipulation, and you know that, and still you trust her more than the person who's literally been saving your life at every turn.
From her, even.
From her, even. She saved your life so many times, and you're
Yeah.
still like, I don't really trust you. But yeah, this like demon liar lady.
Well, maybe he just
Definitely.
doesn't know how to keep her out of the dreams too. Like, I think he wants to see her, but he doesn't know how to keep her out
Well,
either.
even if he doesn't know how to keep her out, it doesn't mean that you should hang out with her and make out and shit, like and share things with her and not tell Moiraine that this is happening.
Yeah. Well, you know.
All that to say, Rand is a
Ooh.
fool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So Egwene lied, right? She was like, the wise ones want me to come spend the night over there to practice dream walking.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then until we see her going to dream walk and nobody else is there, she's in
Mm.
the room by herself, which I didn't pick up until the second time that I watched it. But Rand, not that he seemed eager to get rid of her, but he was like, oh, okay. Part of me was like, oh man, he just wants her to like follow her path and is encouraging her. He thinks this is a good thing. But now I'm like, or does he just want to be in bed by himself to have wet dreams? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know.
I mean, he was before telling Lanfear, no, we can't do this. But
No, please stop. Baby, it's cold outside.
but he showed so much concern for her last episode when she showed up and she was all sad. And it's
Mhm.
like, bro, she she is a maiden of the dark one. Like
She
what's
was
not
locked away for
clicking?
being evil.
Like what is not clicking here? What is
Yeah,
not clicking? Like the people she worked with are the ones who sent Trollocs to massacre your village and your community.
yeah.
That's the group of people she's working with.
And what makes you think she has changed? But somehow in his little mind, he's like, you know what? Maybe he thinks he can save her.
I can fix her.
Don't save her. She
She
don't
don't
want
want
to
to be
be.
saved.
Don't save her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that Rand is a huge fool and he pisses me
Yeah.
off. That's not the thing that I was telling you
No,
that
I
pissed
know.
me
Yeah,
off
that's
though.
not the thing that pissed you off.
But Rand was pissing me off because I think he's so foolish and
It
so
just doesn't make sense to
childish.
me.
I'm like, grow up.
As somebody who has a evil ability or just like inconvenient ability to see both see both sides and like want people to be good,
But like, what
I
are the both sides?
I don't know. Maybe he just loves her. Maybe he just loves her.
Well, then
And
he's
maybe he's
stupid.
just like it's only safe to love her in the dream world. Maybe he thinks he's keeping tabs on her by that. But like at this point, like we said, he doesn't know that she's been mollywopping his girl on the
He's
side
been beating her ass every
right
night,
next to him, like right next to him. And
leaving
she's not
marks
saying anything
even.
about her nightmares. Like I would be like, hey, 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 I know that you having bad dreams, but Where did these come from? Where did these come from?
Aren't you wondering why she has bruising on her neck every
That's what I'm
morning?
saying. Every morning.
So you
Like,
can notice that Lanfair is a little bit sad and has a pout
"Mm."
when she comes to visit you in your dream. But your girlfriend who sleeps next to you every night and wakes up with new fresh bruising on her throat, you never think like, "Hey, what's going on? We should talk about this."
Like it wasn't me.
Right.
And you're not choking yourself.
Right.
So, and you know Lanfear can go into people's dreams. Like, you're not a little bit suspicious?
He's stupid. He is a mutton-headed fool.
Cotton-headed ninny muggins.
He is a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
I mean, it's gonna catch up to him. He's gonna get wise eventually. He has to.
I hope so, because I have very low faith in him right now. I do not see him winning the great battle. He can't control his channeling. He's learning to sword fight when he should probably be learning spears, but he's too
Yeah,
stubborn.
too
Like,
stubborn.
he's not trusting the one person who's been saving his ass this whole time and who's kept him out of the tower so that he could win the last battle
Yeah,
instead of having him leashed. Like,
yeah.
he just makes no sense to me.
And it's crazy because he has a couple people, like if he doesn't want to learn a channel from Moiraine, he could at least get tips from Egwene because she's learning, color by the numbers,
Well,
you
the
know?
women can't teach men how to channel because they touch different parts of the source that the other can't see.
But they could have discussions about it. Like this is what it feels like for me. Maybe this might be helpful. I feel like some of the basic tenets might be the same, even though they're not accessing the same power. Like, just let go.
Lan and Melindra, they talk about Malkier
Mm,
and what he remembers about it, and I'm a king who doesn't even know his kingdom and all of that stuff. Why do you think we're having all this focus on Malkier? Do you think this is going to play a part?
absolutely. Absolutely. And as you say that, I think that it's interesting to hear him. I'm wondering if all these things that he's heard about Ran, and in addition to meeting her, are like bringing up these thoughts that he maybe had been buried for so long. Like, I don't know my people either. Here
Hmm.
I am. I don't have a chance to be amongst them because apparently it's just me and you. But wow, I don't know anything about them. And she's like, it's okay, boo. You were a kid. I think it's gonna play a part. Like, he's got some kingly shit coming up. Although I am a little suspicious of her too.
I was a little bit suspicious of her too. I can't put my finger on why,
Me neither.
but I just was suspicious.
Yeah, I am definitely a little bit suspicious of her. And similar to you, just like something about it is not sitting well with me.
Yeah.
It's like she's
She's
pushing him too hard.
I was just gonna say that. I feel like she's pushing too hard, too fast, and she's a little too eager.
Mm-hmm.
And all of
Mm-hmm.
this talk about taking back a place that no longer exists.
Yeah.
Like, what are you getting at here?
What if she's Black Aja?
Well, she's not any Aja, but what if she's Forsaken, aligned? What if she's a dark friend?
Mm, yeah. And then to to what end?
To what end? I don't know. To
Yeah.
sway land so that he like lets his guard down around Moiraine or something. Take out
I
a
don't know.
take out an important Aes Sedai.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or
The
get
tattoo on the
close to
back keeps
Rand.
like getting is also making me just feel, I don't know, something about her is just very discomforting and unsettling. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm putting a pin in that because I'm suspicious of her.
Absolutely.
Moiraine finally tells Lan what she saw in the rings.
Oh,
That in every future where she lives, Rand does not. And in every future where Rand lives, she does not. So
yeah.
therefore, she's not going to be at the Great Battle because she
Mm-hmm.
has to die in order for Rand to make it there.
Yeah.
However, how accurate are these visions in the rings?
I don't know. I don't know because
Because,
she didn't mention that she's getting killed by Lanfear every time.
right, but including a vision where her and Lamfair are in bed together.
Mm,
Maybe that
yeah.
was just her being horny for Lanfair because Lanfair is hot.
Super
So
hot.
that just kind of slid in there.
That's what we said. You know what struck me the most about this moment though? Like Lan was really sad because he's like, okay, my bond is going to be broken and it's going to be painful. Like if this is the
Mhm.
case, and I've already suffered that once. Like she turned it off and I was devastated. So what does that mean for my future? But they like have that strong drink, the Horneater White.
Usquai. Horneater Usquai.
And I think it's the first time I've ever seen them laugh together.
Yeah,
I was like, it struck me so much. I was like, oh my God, they're just like chilling and laughing. He's like, life before death, Maureen. You're not gonna die today. So let's live.
exactly.
It was the first time I've ever seen them relaxed enough and just have a genuine laugh. And I had to like really think back. I'm like, have I seen this before? Like maybe like, a smirk or a little bit of mirth and a sly giggle, but not like a full out laughter. And that really warmed my heart.
The reason I'm asking about how accurate these ring futures are is because I think about Min's visions, right? She
Hmm.
has this vision of Matt killing Rand, and it
Yeah.
turned out that Rand didn't die. So it looked like he
But
killed Rand, but
yeah,
but
it looked like he did. But he did stab Rand and it would have been fatal had Elaine not been there.
right. So that's what I'm saying. She's seeing these futures where one has to die in order for the other to live.
Hmm.
But perhaps there's some type of resurrection,
Mm.
not necessarily bringing her back from the dead, but somebody healing her in time
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
something like that. Because I can see her more likely to make sure she's in a position where she dies instead of Rand.
Sure, sure, yeah.
But maybe there's somebody who saves her before she actually dies.
I
So,
would love for that to happen.
yeah. But you
Maybe
feel
it's
like
Nynaeve.
somebody's gonna die.
I mean, of course, Biggie lyrics jump into my head. Somebody's gotta die. If I go, you gotta go. Ah, do they kill off Moiraine? She's a major character. Like, it's not going to happen in this season. It's not going to happen the next season. It is going to happen before the final battle. And if she does actually die, it shifts everything. And I like a little upheaval like that. But do I think she'll really die? I don't know. If she comes back, maybe it's a Suan related thing. Maybe Suan's like, I'm going to give you all of my healing power, and then she'll be killed in the process. I don't know. But I think maybe it's also a little bit too clean if she experiences a resurrection.
Right.
It
She might
becomes
actually
YA
just have to
fantasy
die.
then.
Yeah, she might actually have to just die.
I guess we'll see.
The ship to Tenchico. Let's talk about that.
Blech. Do you get seasick?
Yes, very.
Yeah,
Instantly.
I've been seasick. On the ferry to Staten Island, I don't get seasick. On the ferry to Nantucket was the first time I knew that I got seasick. It was the worst. Although it was also like super stormy, like outside. It wasn't raining, but like the water was so choppy. We were doing that thing where the boat goes down and you can see like the wave coming over you. We
Nope,
almost
can't
got washed
just.
overboard. I remember just being in the bathroom and wanting to vomit and not being able to. The worst feeling. So I feel naive. And I laughed when they were like, or keeping us down here because so you won't throw yourself overboard. And she's like, wait, is that an option?
So
I was like, oh.
once again, a person from the Two Rivers is pissing me off. Matt has cabin fever and
Mm,
insists on going up there, even though they told him not to. And I'm like, Matt, you also have learned nothing because you not listening is how you ended up with a fucking demon dagger and had to be
mm.
saved in the first place. And
Is this the thing that pissed you off?
no,
Okay.
it
Okay.
is a thing that regularly pisses me off about these kids, but that's not the thing,
Yeah.
like the thing.
Yeah.
You'll know when I start talking about it because you'll be able to start seeing the steam come out of my headphones.
Yeah. And I think that the thing that you're talking about has two aspects of it because it pissed me off too. So yes, we'll get there. You know what? Not that I'm giving him excuses, but imagine being locked up with these two, like, Tanya, imagine you were Matt and Nynaeve is throwing up for 2 weeks in a bucket.
No, it's horrible. It's
Like you would
horrible.
be throwing up too.
Yeah, I
And
would
then,
be. However, however, having not listened before and ended up with a demon dagger that almost killed me and had me thinking that I murdered a little girl and dealing
Hmm.
with all of that, I think I would, and then also it causing me to be imprisoned for a period of time, I would
Mm,
start listening.
yeah. By a dark
You know
friend
what that
and
is?
a black Aja.
That's growth. Matt does not have growth.
That does not grow.
He doesn't
But I would
grow.
be really tempted. I'm like, y'all don't even let them out during the day. Like, maybe give them a little break and come and air out the room. Because I don't know that I would be able to stay in a room for 2 weeks either, honestly.
No, it would drive me nuts. It would absolutely drive me
Insane.
crazy. But he also didn't
Like, I
have to
try to
go.
negotiate time. This is true.
He also did not have to go.
This is true. And it's like everybody else is doing like poor Nynaeve cannot do anything. There's no Ginger on board apparently, and Elaine is just trying to distract herself, and she's super fascinated by like all the aspects of where I mean, she's a fucking nerd,
But I
you
don't
know?
think she's
Nerd.
just fascinated. Like they're going into a city they've never
No,
been
she's
to
researching.
chase down a person who's incredibly powerful and knows
Hmm.
this city. Like you got
Hmm.
to know somebody has to learn about it.
Somebody has to learn about it, and I think that like all of her courtly upbringing, she's used to going into that mode, but I think that she also finds it to be interesting.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I'm sure she finds it interesting, but I just don't think she's just studying to distract herself.
I would be
Like
so fucked. You know, I don't read nonfiction. I get so bored unless it's medical.
I couldn't read on a ship, so
Mm. You
yeah.
just get there clueless
Yeah. And just get murdered on the dock. Don't even touch land.
immediately.
One of the changes the show made is that the sea folk are not topless. In the books, they're topless, and Nynaeve is scandalized by the breasts on
I
board.
am so upset that they didn't keep that part in.
If it was HBO, they would have.
Oh my God.
If it
You're
was
right.
HBO, they definitely would have.
Shout out to HBO for freeing the nipples.
And the dicks.
Mm-hmm.
They
Full
show it
frontal.
all. They show it
They
all.
do.
Yeah, in the books, Nynaeve is just absolutely scandalized by these topless women, and it was just like a little funny thing, but
It should
that I
be fair
remembered.
because this actress has a great rack. I'm constantly distracted by it.
Yeah, Min is a terrible spy. She's so bad at spying.
Do you think she's in love with Matt a little bit?
I don't know. I kind of got a vibe that Min's gay.
I did too. I did too, but maybe she's queer.
I don't think that she's into Matt.
I just like she didn't try very hard to hide, you know,
Well,
but I think that
she
she's
didn't
got a
know.
feeling of affection for him.
She wasn't expecting them to be on the deck. They
Yeah.
weren't allowed on deck, so she probably thought she was free to move around if
Yeah.
they're trapped in their room. I think that the
But she did
affection,
see them.
who, Min?
Man, she saw them when they came up because that's why I was like, oh, maybe she's trying to like scurry down to
Yeah,
her little
yeah, she saw them
cabin.
when they came up and she was trying to get away so
Yeah.
that they wouldn't see her. But then Matt saw her.
Hmm. They're in
And
tune.
yeah, I think she has affection for Matt because she feels bad about turning him over to a Forsaken.
Well, she fucking should.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't think it's like a romantic affection. I
Hmm.
think it's a, oh shit, I almost gave you away to this demon. Let me
I
try to
mean,
make up for it. And then the fact that she keeps having these visions where he's hanging,
yeah.
she's probably trying to find a way to keep that from happening because she doesn't want him
Which
to die.
which we learned that she actually is. She does say that. She does say that. I mean, let's just talk about that part. Like he's like, "Oh my God, I'm sharing your room. Let's be bunkmates because I'm so sick of these girls." And she's like, "I'm trying to save your life, but also I think that it's really foolish of him to assume that it's suicide that
Yeah,
gets him to hang,
because it could be
you know?
execution.
It could be execution. Like he's a known thief
And
and a
later when we
pickpocket."
see him in when we see them in Tanchico, there is somebody
Mm-hmm.
hanging. So
Just
that doesn't
saying.
bode well.
No.
I was very annoyed with him when he was taking her drawings. Like, let me see. Oh, she's an artiste. Because I was like, oh my God, dude, grow up. You are a grown man.
No, he's not.
He was making me so mad. I'm like, are you in high school? Like, what are you
He's a
doing
boy
right
in
now?
man's clothing.
He is. He is. And I think that this portrayal of him, I feel like is really different from season one. I feel like in season one, he wasn't as playful. He was a lot darker.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
they've
you've
made
said that a
him,
few times that you don't like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because I feel like this. this like jovial guy wouldn't be the one who got a forbidden dagger and tried to rob a dead body.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, like, if let's say let's say they adjusted the writing for the actor, right?
Hmm.
That's a possibility. But do you think, given everything, like on one hand, I can see you wanting to look on the bright side of life and to introduce playfulness because you've been through such terrible things. And in this moment, I'm not in danger, so I'm fucking grateful. But I'm wondering how that would have played out with the other actor since he was so dark. Like, would it have looked the same?
I
Would
mean,
they have written it that way?
some of the darkness came from the dagger, right?
Yeah, but he was like in a dark place before the
Because he was
dagger because he has
stealing
an
from people and,
and
trying to see, like he stole that girl's bracelet to sell, and
well, I mean, he lived in an alcoholic and abusive household too, and
right,
that scars you.
right. And so him being this big goofy, I can't remember how I thought of him in the books anymore, just because
Mm,
I'm so far removed from
yeah.
the story that way. So I can't say whether or not it's more or less accurate for him to be
Mhm.
portrayed this way.
Sure.
I just feel like this isn't the same Matt that would have stolen that dagger.
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like he still has sneaky tendencies, and I think he would have still wandered off. Hmm.
He just seems so much more playful.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if they had to, like this version of Matt, if they had to do it, it would have been like out of it, like, oh, it's whispering to me. Maybe this could be a tool that we use, and I'm going to be able to be helpful because I have, like, I can't channel, I can't do anything, but maybe this is the way that I could help. And then it would corrupt him.
Hmm.
But, I feel like I'm doing a lot of stretching in this episode.
Well, in any case, he was pissing me off. And now he's
Yeah.
seen what she was trying to keep him from seeing, which
Serves
is
him
the
right.
vision of him hanging. And it's like, had you
Hmm.
listened, Matt, you wouldn't have
Yeah.
seen it.
Shouldn't have gone through her phone.
Don't go through her phone.
Mm-mm.
Now you've seen the dick pics. Now what?
Yep.
Also, when did he start wearing rings?
Girl, I was wondering about that too. Like, I mean, he clearly jacked them from from
But he's
somewhere.
been gambling a lot.
Yeah.
But like I was just like, when did he start wearing rings? Like he had on two pretty big rings. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like, when did that happen? We find out the reason they don't want Aes Sedai on deck is because of their wind finders, which I kept calling wind runners.
Shout out to Sanderson. We've slipped like six references in here in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I kept calling them wind runners, but they're wind finders, and they're able to channel the ocean and make the ocean bow to them, which is like, holy shit, that kind of power.
So good. So
And
good.
this whole time, the tower has thought that sea folk channeling is so weak that they would never even make full
Mm-hmm.
sisters. We're not even going to go to that part of the
We won't
world and
even
try to get
bother.
them. Meanwhile, they're powerful as hell. Do you think that there will be a team up of these different types of channelers
Yes.
at the last battle?
Yes. There has to be. Why else are we seeing them?
Right.
Will of Time and the way that people use their powers, like finding out that people can like channel with water and wind and stuff. I'm like, it's giving benders, right? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
like, to me, that's what they are. They're airbenders, waterbenders, earthbenders, and firebenders, right? People have
Okay.
access to the one power in really different ways based on their environment, which I love to see. So I never thought about it, but yeah, I do think that they're going to have to team up because everybody knows that the last battle is coming.
Does
And
everybody know?
well, we know that. Have they told people that the dragon exists? Like, there's
There's
seafaring
word
folk.
getting around about him proclaiming himself in Falm, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. And there's seafaring folk and they know everything. They pull in the port, they're like, yo, did you hear?
That's
Like,
true.
that's part of like the pirate nature or, sailor nature. They're the ones who bring the news. And they did leave from Tar Valon. So whether or not they want to team up is another question. But I love that they're trying to keep their secrets, and I do think that Nynaeve and Elaine will. be quiet about it. The
I
one
think
who let
so.
it slip is Matt.
Well, Matt didn't see it because he was down in Min's room.
Mm. I want to say that loose lip bit bitch. As we all know, they sink ships. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
the wind finding was so pretty. It looked like the Aurora Borealis.
You were talking about Nynaeve being scandalized by like the titties out in the book, but I feel like she really felt some kind of way about seeing these other women channel in this way, where Elaine was like, "Yo, I didn't know this was an option. I want to be free." And the captain calls her out and says, "Okay, you are trying to escape your destiny, and you are trying to make everything go the way that you want, Miss Control Freak. Like,
Right.
loosen up."
Right. She asked her, like, are you someone who's difficult to give up control?
Mhm.
And Elaine like snorts.
Which I loved.
Because it's like,
And,
yeah, Nynaeve is
and
incredibly controlling.
I love how she just like read them.
Maybe these on the road lessons are what Nynaeve needs instead of the
Mhm.
tower training.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that she will come into her own because so many people are telling her everything that the tower said, and she's seeing it kind of like in real life, but nobody's telling her what to do, right?
Right.
They're not saying you have, there's an absence of the rigidity of the tower that Nynaeve will thrive on, I think. And then she can incorporate these lessons into her own life. Do you think that we're going to see her actually channel at all this season? Because this is episode 5.
I suppose it depends on how this season ends.
Do you think that running into Leandrin might be the spark?
No, because it
No?
didn't spark her in the hall when
Oh,
they
that's true.
fucked everybody up in episode 1.
Such a
And if there was
fail.
ever a time for your fear to kick in,
Maybe
I
she was
think
afraid
that's
she would
it.
kill everybody.
No, I don't think she was trying to hold back. I think she could not access it.
Mm.
I think she has to learn to let go and
Yeah,
that
and
it's
that's
gonna,
but that's been her lesson the whole time.
yeah, but
He
she
keeps
doesn't
seeing
fucking
it.
listen. No, nobody from the Two Rivers listens. It's a town full of stubborn people who don't listen.
Releases her lesson. And when is she going to learn it? Do you think a point comes where she gets separated from everybody? Because we know that she knows somewhere in her heart of hearts that she can't keep everybody safe, right?
Hmm.
So does there come a point where, they have to go their own ways or that they get separated through battle or whatever, and that's when she's confronted and has to accept that, listen, I'm here by myself. I have to figure this out if I want to get back to my people.
I'm think
Or that she has to help somebody else.
right. I'm thinking like she wasn't able to access it when she needed it to save Rand. Elaine did that.
Hmm.
She wasn't able to access it mid-battle when Elaine got hit by arrows. She had to use her training as a
Yeah,
wisdom to
yeah,
help her. She couldn't access it in the hall when they were all being attacked by Black Aja.
yeah.
So what is it going to take? Is it going to take Lan possibly dying for her to access it?
Ooh, no, I don't want him to die.
I don't want him to die either, but the last time we saw her have that huge explosion of power was all the way back in that
Mm,
cave.
I would say maybe it has to do with her protecting a little girl.
Mm, because it'll make her think of Elnor.
Yeah. And then she's like, I have to do this. That would be my guess.
Well, they arrive in Tanchico, and Tanchico is the hood.
Hood hood.
She's
Matt
like,
better hide those rings.
take off your rings, don't flash money, don't make eye contact. Like it's like 90s Times Square.
Yeah, right. It's definitely
The
like walking through rough parts of like Brooklyn and stuff. You just mind your business, just walk straight.
subway in the 70s.
Oh my God. It's like you learn these lessons really early when you get to some of these places, and it's just like you stay in your personal space bubble. I stay in mine. I'm not even going to really acknowledge that we're there, that we see each other. We're just going to skirt around each other as walking down the street and try very hard not to bump into anybody or step on anybody's shoes. And the other thing is that you have to walk like you know where you're going,
Right.
you know? And like
Look, you
when
have
they
to
meet
try to look
men,
like you belong.
exactly, before they get off the boat with men, men is like, I'm the only one who has been there.
Hmm.
Y'all need to learn to listen a little bit because if we want to make it from the port to anywhere that's like relatively safer, you're gonna have to follow my lead.
Yeah.
I feel like Elaine is the only one who'd listen to that.
Yeah, she is. Elaine's the only one with sense.
And she's the one with the most to lose, you
Yeah.
know? So of course she would listen. Like Nynaeve and Matt want to get back to their friends and they want to do their part, but Elaine has the entire future of a kingdom on her back, you know? Like she can't be frivolous with her lifespan.
I think also Elaine is smart enough to know that she is not the smartest person in the room.
Hmm. Man, if only she would pass that on, if it would rub off on the others.
Yeah. And I think that's a lesson that Nynaeve is really struggling to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, Nynaeve was, she was the wisdom and she was the healer and she knew everything and she was part of the women's circle. And so she's just
Mhm.
like,
She was a
HBIC.
leader.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was a leader, and now she can't be a follower. And you don't get to be a better leader unless you can follow.
right. And
So,
Elaine knows that.
yeah, we'll see whatever happens in there. And then Matt's like, "Oh no, there's a dead man hanging by his neck."
It's like, yeah, that could be you. So maybe fucking cool it in Tenchico.
Hmm. Maybe listen to Min.
Maybe listen to Min who's been there before.
She's like the most worldly of the bunch,
Yeah.
and she's a seer.
And she's a seer. So please listen
Yeah,
to her.
yeah. Whatever she says is what I'm doing.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to Tenchico shenanigans in the
Hmm.
future.
Because we know they will abound.
Oh, yes. Matt is going to do something stupid. He's going to rip someone off gambling or do something where they're going
Mm-hmm.
to have to save his ass.
Again.
I just know it. I just know
Yeah.
it.
I hadn't really thought about that because I hadn't thought too far ahead in Tenchiko. But yeah, this is like we know his character. He can't help himself. And he thinks he's so slick because he's the hornblower. But guess what? You don't have that shit with you right now.
And like, I feel like,
He would have got murked if he had the horn on him in
oh my
Tenchiko.
God, he would have instantly gotten murked in Tenchico if he was showing off that horn. I think that Matt just still sees himself as like this lovable scamp. And he's gonna try to bring that lovable scamp shit into Tenchico and he's gonna get into some big trouble.
Yeah, yeah. No one's letting him off the hook here.
No, they're gonna take a
Yeah.
fucking finger if he doesn't behave himself.
I'd be into seeing them take a finger. I
I
feel
would
like he needs
too.
to learn a lesson. I think he's
I
earned it.
I think he needs a hard lesson because the
Yeah.
dagger was not enough. Being
Nope.
imprisoned by Leandrin was not enough. So he needs to lose a digit.
Seeing that he could be hanging by his neck until dead was not enough.
He
Being
needs
shown multiple deaths by Ishmael was not enough.
he needs
So
to
yeah,
lose a digit or he
definitely.
needs to get stabbed or something.
If he loses a digit during an episode, I'm going to stop and I'm going to open my bottle of Prosecco. I'm gonna make an Aperol spritz and I'm gonna toast to people getting what they deserve.
We're so mean to Matt, but I just feel like he's earned it.
Has. Like, what did you tell me? Those who don't listen feel?
Those who can't hear must feel.
Exactly. So,
And I know that's very Caribbean auntie of me. However,
but
it's the truth.
it is the
You
truth.
don't listen until you feel it. And then you're like, oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna have to get some type of grievous permanent injury.
Yeah. Yeah. And Elaine's gonna have to be away and not being able to heal him.
Hmm.
Like he's gonna have to go to a regular ass doctor.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to like almost kill him over some dumb shit he does. Like
Hmm.
not a battle, nothing like that, but
A
like
gray man?
no, I don't even think a gray man. I think just like a random thug.
Yeah.
Like you try to shoplift something. Although, when they were leaving to get on the ship, I saw him pick up fruit and then he threw down coins.
Yeah, he
So I think
did.
his shoplifting might be behind him now.
He had a little cash.
Yeah, he was like, all right, I'm gonna pay for this. So maybe it won't be shoplifting. Maybe
But
it'll be
maybe
gambling.
I mean, I think the lovable scamp thing is a good thing to bring up, though. And we do know that he loves to gamble, but maybe it's going to be one of those things where he's like, oh no, I'm totally one of these guys. Like I know how to steal. I'm like rough on these streets. And no, he's not. Getting off the boat at Tanchico, I would be shook. I'd be like, oh no, 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 no. I don't want any of this. Just let's get to where we're going really fast. I'm going to try not to look scared, but they're going to smell it on me.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
will
say
probably lose whatever's in my pocket, but that's cool. Take it.
I'd be outed immediately as an outsider because I'd be so scared and I'd be
I mean,
clutching my
especially because you're
purse.
not wearing any of those masks. You're not wearing a
Right.
face covering.
So you already don't look like everyone else. I'd be
Like, why
clutching my
didn't you cut up
purse.
your bed sheets like before you got off the boat?
Maybe they didn't know. They didn't do the reading.
Ay. There's
Right.
all these things, and yeah, they're gonna run into trouble because
We have to.
it's a dramatic fantasy.
That's what keeps the show going.
We are here for it. Give us drama.
Yeah, I'm ready for some Tenchiko shenanigans. This is assuming Leandrin is even still there. She might be.
She might be. Well, no, because she's looking for that place for her son.
Oh, right. Not for her son, for the caller.
For the collar. Oh, that's right, because she already did like the circle of salt for her
Yeah,
kid, right?
she's finished that morning ritual or whatever.
Yeah.
She's done that already. So now they're there because they think that's where the caller is.
Mm-hmm. If Mo Gideon doesn't get to it first.
Oh, I hope we see Moghedien next episode.
Me
And
too.
the other guy,
Okay.
Samael, the other Forsaken that had the meeting with Ravin and
Oh,
Lamp
right.
there.
The one that looks like Aries.
I think his name was Samael. So I wonder where he is and what he's gonna be up to. And then there's those other two, Semarag and Grendel, that we haven't met yet. That we haven't met yet.
I'm
In any
looking forward to
case,
meeting them because what is their vibe?
I know we only have 3 episodes left. Like this is a lot.
Mm. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if we don't see them until next season because I really enjoy spending time with the Forsaken that we do know.
I know, but you told me about them, so now I want to see them.
We still have Robin, and we're gonna have to go back to Queen Morghese at some point.
That's true.
We haven't been back there.
Right, and to meet the dismissed captain
General.
or general.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We keep asking for that every episode, and I hope he's hot.
I was just about to say that. Oh my gosh. I hope he's like Adolin hot, but like older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Adolin
Yeah.
when he hits like 55, right?
All the things that I just held back from saying just now. It kind of made my mussy wet too.
We're so
Yeah.
middle-aged talking about 55 being hot.
I know. Remember in your 20s and it was just like
Like, ew,
unfathomable?
55. And when I was in
There's
my
just
20s,
no
I'm like,
way.
ew, 35. Let's go to the Two Rivers where Alana is struggling to repair her clothing because she does
Oh my
not want to
God.
wear the trash fashion that they wear
She
in
looks
the
like
Two
she's a
Rivers.
terrible seamstress as well.
When has she had to sew her own clothes?
Huh. It is a skill.
Why didn't she just ask somebody there to do it for her?
I would have totally been like, hey, I will help you do something that I'm good at. Could you please sew this back up for me? But I guess if you're an Aes Sedai, you don't want to like show any weakness. Like, that bitch can't sew.
But is that like weakness though?
I don't know. She's mad independent. Um, but yeah, and Maxim is like, oh my God, why are we still here? The bread is terrible, which
That
I
was funny.
understand.
That was funny when she was like, I thought you were into the baker boy. And he's like, have you tried the bread? Like that made me really laugh. I had a good laugh at that.
Uh, yeah. What a turn off. Like you're not even good at your craft.
Right.
Like
Natty
everybody's eating this.
Natty and the girls are caged up still, and Valda is desperate to torture, and
Such a boner for his questioning.
he's so gross. And Bornhald is like completely against it until we realize one of those girls can channel.
Hmm. And clearly she was surprised by it.
Yeah, mom did not know.
Mm-mm. The shock.
I
I was
don't,
surprised too. I was like, like he
yeah,
threw all fleet. He flew all the way across the tent.
Yeah. Are they twins?
I don't know if they're twins. I don't know. I feel like I would remember if Matt had referred to them as
It's always
twins.
just the girls.
It's always the girls, yeah. So I don't think that they're twins. But you know what this scene did for me? At first he's like, "No, you can't, like I'm not letting you do your little torture thing that you love so much." You forget that he's a white cloak
Right.
because of the way he's being. He's like, "Oh my God, this fucking witch." No,
Mm-hmm.
now you deserve to be questioned.
Switched up immediately.
I forgot that he was a religious fanatic.
Right. He came off so reasonable talking to
Yeah,
Perrin and stuff.
yeah.
And it's like,
Because
oh
he'd
no,
never
it's
actually encountered an Aes Sedai with him before, or
no.
a channeler.
And he hasn't talked about him. And Elder Bornhalt didn't seem particularly fanatic about it when he was talking to Valda. He was actually kind of holding Valda's leash a little bit and trying to,
Hmm.
keep him back. And remember, he even sent Moiraine, told her to visit one of the Aes Sedai to heal her wound. So he didn't seem as fanatical. But then you remember, yeah, they think that they're witches.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's just like when you have somebody that's scary on your team, and we know like from season one that Child Wanda is just like, let's flay these bitches.
Hmm.
Terrible, terrifying. How he keeps skirting death is just like beyond me.
Like someone needs to kill him and soon. I hope he dies. Ugh,
I
but I
do
love him.
too.
But like I love him as a villain, so like I want him to live,
Hmm.
but like I
I
also
do
hope he
too.
dies.
I want it to be a really great death later on in the series.
Hmm. Like
And I feel
I
like
need
I don't
him
even want an Aes Sedai to do it.
I need it to be someone regular and I need it although I would not mind it being an Aes Sedai actually. And I want him to know he's dying. I don't want it to be quick.
Hmm. To like gurgle and have blood coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, I need him to spend some time with it. Not like a
Yeah.
stretched out torture, but just like not a
Yeah.
quick, clean death. Like I need him to know it's coming. I need him to know it's happening right now and that you're about to die. Like I need
And
him.
to somebody be standing over him watching.
Yeah, see, I could get into that. I can
Yeah,
get into that.
same.
I
Same.
want somebody to take off his hands first because
Ooh.
that's his favorite thing to do.
Maybe that's Perrin. Maybe, or what's Perrin's soon to be boo's name?
Fail.
Fail? Fail? Maybe Fail kills him. I'd be
Because
really into that.
I just want his hands cut off first. Whatever we do,
Mm.
I want his hands to be cut off first.
Yeah, maybe he's like holding on to something and somebody has an axe and it's just like,
Perrin.
woohoo! That's what I'm saying. The blacksmith axe.
Yeah.
You should like it's disgusting how big we're smiling right now. We are both like
Like, yeah, I hope this
the
guy hit.
teeth,
This guy's hands get cut off. That's sickening. What is wrong with us?
the cheeks are spread, the teeth are out.
You can see all of my teeth, all the way to the back. So Perrin is planning his rescue of Natty and the girls. He's gonna go in with the Aiel, with Fael, Aiel
Hmm.
and Fael, and Alana and Maxim. Maxim is telling Alana, like, you said you'd hold back and just heal.
Hmm.
And she's like, nah, we need to go in and do this. And he tries to tell her what to do because apparently Maxim thinks he runs shit now.
Hmm. Well, I think he's also just protective of her. Like,
He is.
imagine he lost Ivan, who is, he says is the only person that he's ever loved besides Alana, but we see how painful that bond being broken by death can be,
Yes.
right? To the
Yes.
point that you'll kill yourself.
Yes.
So he wants to avoid that, especially because she won't turn off the bond.
However, you are a warder to a sister of the Green Aja. This is the battle Aja. This is
Hmm.
the last battle Aja.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared. And when he says, I don't care about the last battle or Amerlin's or any of this, then why the fuck are you a warder?
He's still in mourning. I
I
give
don't
him a
care. Nope,
pass.
I don't give him a pass.
I give him a pass.
I
He's
don't give him a
hurt.
pass. This is a battle, Aja. You are a warder. This is what you've been prepared for. People around you are gonna die. You were just
Yeah.
in a battle where people died. Your Aes Sedai might die. These are all things you have to be prepared for.
Yeah.
And if you're specifically a green Aja warder, well, then you are here for the last battle that you're claiming not to care about because your boyfriend died.
Yeah.
You
I
have to
don't
put
think
that
he
behind
means
you.
it.
I
I
think
don't think he
he,
really means it. I think he's just pouting and hurt.
well, then he needs to man up. You're a warder. You are not a farmer. You are not a sheep herder. You are a
Hmm.
man built for this specific battle, and the people
Yeah.
around you are gonna die.
That is true.
The people around you are going to die. And you can mourn, but you can't abandon your Aes Sedai to go
Hmm.
hunt down this one specific killer who you can't take.
Yeah. Like, obviously.
You can't take Leandrin. What are you gonna do when you see Leandrin? She's gonna
She
split
breasts
you
you
in half.
aside with like more less effort than a sneeze.
She'll just split him in half as he approaches. Like, what
Yeah.
is he gonna do? He probably couldn't even sneak up on her.
No, I don't think so. And like at this point, we learn why Alana wants to stick around, and she has a good point.
All of these people came from this village.
They are the blood of the
These
Manetheren.
channelers, the
Hmm.
hornblower,
The
this wolf, the
dragon.
dragon himself,
Perrin, of course, gets left out of the equation
because they
again.
don't know about his wolf powers, but also him. And now
Yeah.
there's another channeler here,
Hmm.
Matt's sister. So, yeah, there's something powerful here.
Something in the water
And
with the two
maybe,
rivers.
maybe building an army of farmers seems ridiculous, but there's
I
something
mean,
here.
it
There's
wouldn't be
something
the
here.
first time. I mean, like I think about like actual real life history and how the Ethiopians beat back the Italians. They defended against the Italians with, farming stuff.
Even further back than that, the Maroons in Jamaica, they
Yeah.
fought the British for like 60 years until they had to come to a treaty. The British army was like the army,
Yep.
and these were villagers, basically,
Hmm.
people with like handmade weapons and stolen guns.
I know that he's skeptical, but like, the bread is hard. Weaponize the bread. But also like they understand what's at stake and the fact that they listened to parent and stuck together with strength in numbers. Like I would want to learn to defend myself and my people
Right.
at some point. Like maybe I forgot that, I've got blood of the warriors in my veins because that was so long ago. But somebody give me a motivational speech. Like I don't want to die.
And they have young, able-bodied men there. It's
Hmm.
not like they've gotten rid of all of the
Yeah.
potential like warrior class.
Yeah, it's not a civilization. It's not a community of seniors.
Right. And it's not like they've all been sent off to die in war already.
Yeah.
This war hasn't even come yet.
Nope.
So why not get them to at least protect their own home, like prepare them for
Exactly.
that?
Exactly.
But there's something in this region, the blood of Manetheren, whatever you want to call it. There's something special about the two rivers. And it could be even more than just this group of people. It could be so much bigger, and we just don't know yet.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. I feel like Egwene's mom is going to have something special to do.
I think so. She's a tough lady.
Yes, she is.
And that other lady who was yelling at that guy,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, think of just the women's circle in general. You know, I
That's what I was
said
gonna say.
I said they have, able-bodied young men, but the women, who's to say the
Yeah.
women aren't going to join in the fight? Do you remember in season one when all those women got pitchforks and they all teamed up together and killed
Yeah.
the Trolloc? Like these are fierce women.
I absolutely see the women playing an important role in what's to come.
Yeah, they're very fierce. And they love their town. So
Hmm.
there's probably going to be a clash with the White Cloaks because remember they said reinforcements had just arrived or
Yep.
were arriving. So there's going to be some kind of clash with the White Cloaks, and so I guess we'll get to see what these people really have.
Hmm. Like a lot of them will die, but the ones who remain standing will be fierce, and like maybe they have to abandon their village and move towards wherever they need to go. Like Alana will take them somewhere. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the people of the Two Rivers have in them because it's something.
Do you remember when you said you would have put wolf heads on stakes around your camp? Do you remember
Yes,
saying that?
I do remember saying that.
Well,
Well,
seems you're not the only one who thought of that.
Way to taunt him.
Yeah, that was really fucked up. But I get it. As a person
Hmm.
attacked by a wolf, yeah, I would imagine I'd want to kill every wolf in the vicinity.
Absolutely.
And if he suspects that Perrin can somehow communicate with him, you've just taken out his little wolf army, or at
Yep.
least some of it.
Yep.
Alana creates this fog, which creates suspicion because she was a little
Ugh.
heavy-handed with it.
So this is what pissed me off. Two things. Are you going to talk about what? Wait, I don't know if you've gotten to what pissed
No,
you off.
go ahead and tell me.
Okay. So a thing that pissed me off is that these things are coming and she turned off the bond. That pissed me off because you know that you're going into a situation that is dangerous for you. You know that you're facing the White Cloaks, which is what Maxim said. And it's like, is this really the time? Like, you guys are arguing, but is this really the time? Like, you know, it could be dangerous for you. Sure, you're the only Aes Sedai around and you think you're the only channeler around, but like, even that makes you even more important to me. I did see her after she turned off the bond, she like stumbled a little bit. It's like you almost wouldn't catch it if you weren't looking. And I was like, ooh, that was my heart hurting. But changing the weather, like you should have been like rolling out fog a little bit by a little bit and letting it hit instead of just like, ooh, all the clouds in the weather system
Yeah,
this
she
way.
was she was too heavy-handed with it. That's not what pissed me off. What pissed me off was Maxim leaving.
Mm,
That's what pissed me off
yeah.
on this
I knew he'd
quest
be
to,
back.
but still, he should have never left. Alana
Yeah.
would not have been shot up with arrows had Maxim
Yeah.
stayed and done his one job.
Yeah.
You have one job. You are a warder. Your one job is to keep this woman alive and to do
Yeah.
whatever you can to protect her, and you walked away.
Especially when you're so good at it.
And you're in the middle of the danger right now,
Hmm.
and you
Yeah.
walked away.
Yep.
She should have killed him.
That whole. Ooh.
She should have killed him and gotten herself two new warders because you basically just quit your job as
Do you
my
think she's
warder.
gonna get a warder from Two Rivers?
No, they're not trained. She needs a real warder. And I think she's
Mm.
gonna forgive Maxim, but I think she
Well,
should
she's
have
going to.
but I think she should have killed him. You failed. You failed as a
Mm.
warder. You're no use to me anymore.
You broke your oath.
You broke your oath. And you broke my heart, but also you broke your oath and it almost got me killed.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if he had been there protecting her, he would have known that people were sneaking up with arrows.
yeah. I mean, but I feel like it had to come to a head at some point because they were both like in grief and not really like,
Right, it had to come to a
yeah.
head. However, you absolutely destroying your oaths and walking away is crazy to me. That was the thing that
Mm.
pissed me off this episode that had me absolutely enraged was him walking away, claiming he's gonna go find Leandrin and kill her. You do
Yeah,
not leave your Aes Sedai like that. You have one job for your entire life. You have one sole purpose.
yeah.
Stay
You
with
signed up
her,
for this.
stay with her, keep her alive. And you did not do what you were supposed to do. You walked away and almost got her killed. And if she hadn't turned the bond back on in time, which she probably didn't even do it consciously, you know
No,
what I
she
mean?
didn't. He's like, you turned the bond on 5 hours ago.
I would have been like, bitch, do you think this is funny?
Yeah. I mean, first arrow, I'm turning the bond back on. I'm
But
like,
it's like the first
they're still
arrow
alive.
shouldn't have even happened.
Yeah. I did enjoy seeing him like
Come through
kill
and
all
wreck
those
shop.
people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I was like,
Yeah.
thank
But I
God he showed
understand how
up.
that would like, increase your anger at him.
Yeah, oh my God, it pissed me off so bad because you
Hmm.
have one job. You are her warder. You have one thing to do, and you chose not to do it because of your own heartbreak, your own sense of
Hmm.
vengeance, and your selfishness. Be better at your job, especially when it's to keep another person alive.
Yeah.
Be
Well,
better, Maxim.
hopefully he's learned his lesson.
I hope so.
I don't think that he'll leave her again because like he did say the only people he's ever loved are her and Ivan and now, you know,
Yeah,
is he gonna get her back to wisdoms in time enough?
it couldn't be me. If I were Aes Sedai, if I were his Aes Sedai, I would have executed him.
I mean, you do have a Chandler now, but that girl is inexperienced.
She's
So
a
is she gonna be able to,
no, completely
like
untrained child
who's gonna heal her?
who knows if she even knew she could channel. Like,
No,
No,
I don't think she did. I
no,
don't think she
she's
did.
not
I
gonna
think
be
she
useful.
found out in that moment because they were all the same amount as shocked.
Yeah, yeah, I think she's not gonna be useful in that way. They free the girls, and unfortunately, Natty has already been burned at the stake and her hands removed. I hated Child Valdo for this so much.
So many reasons to hate him. Ooh, maybe Matt's sister will kill him.
I'd like that.
Yeah. A
But she's so
fast
little, she'd be so scarred by killing somebody.
You gotta grow up sometime, Chica.
Oh
It's
my
the last
God.
battle.
She probably hasn't even had her period yet. You have a murder on her hands already to have the weight of killing somebody.
Right, right, right.
Like she's a child. Bornhald and Perrin, they meet again. I thought you were a good man. I was
Mm.
before you. And I was like, were you though?
Mm.
Were you?
Mm. You were sanctioning the murder of women.
So like, were you a good man?
Nah.
And Perrin,
You
why
were
did
just
Perrin, you knew
level-headed.
he was a white cloak. Stop being naive.
Yeah.
You know what they are. You see what they do.
I'm sorry that your bromance was broken.
It's bromance. Fail can fight.
Woo!
She's so tiny. I'm very
So
curious
tiny. I love
about
her.
like her size. Like how tall is she? How much does she weigh? She's
Yeah.
so little
And so fast.
and so fast. She's
I
like a
love
little
her.
pixie.
I bet the IEL were like, yes,
Yeah,
bitch.
well, remember when Perrin was like he didn't want her to
Yeah.
come and they're like she's coming because she whipped out her knife all fast and held it up at his throat and they were like no, 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 yeah,
Yo,
bring her.
Arya Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love seeing her fight. I was very much looking forward to it. Like she saved his life. And then she was like, stand the fuck up.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah,
Bornhald is dead from that one knife?
no,
Can't be,
no,
right?
no.
It's
He's
one
got to
little, it
carry on
wasn't
his
even like in the
vendetta.
heart. It was like kind of in
Yeah,
the shoulder-ish.
it's an inconvenient injury. Like he won't be able to lift his arm for a while. He'll be in a
Similar,
sling,
yeah,
but
similar
like,
to what Child Valda had.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. 6 weeks will be fine.
6 weeks. If he went to an Aes Sedai, it'd be faster.
Hmm. Yeah. No, he's not dead. He can't be. But Fail, yeah,
That's a baddie right there.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, the final part of our episode, Moiraine wants to visit Tel'aran'rhiod because she has a message to give.
I get that.
She visits, well, yeah, she needs to develop. I mean, now that she knows she's probably gonna die,
Hmm.
she needs to get this message delivered quickly. So she visits Suan and Tel'aran'rhiod, and they have their conversation, their little makeup. And to me,
Hmm.
it felt like this is the last time they're gonna see each other ever.
I would love if that were the case. I was angry that she didn't mention that she's holding the most powerful ball in the world.
Yeah, yeah, that probably have been useful.
Look at what I found. I'm not going to be there, but I have this thing. I found it. I hadn't considered this being the last time that they'd ever see each other, but I like that for the sense of like a tortured romance.
It felt
Mm,
very final to me, this conversation they had. And so now I'm
yeah.
like convinced Suan is gonna die first.
Mm,
And who takes over the White Tower? I don't know. Maybe Elida.
maybe someone else. Maybe Leanne.
I guess we'll, I don't know.
Maybe White Aja. Who knows?
Who knows? I do think this conversation just felt very final to me. Like one of them is gonna die. They're not gonna see each other again.
Mhm.
And I don't want either of them to go.
And they did say like, I'm gonna find you in every lifetime, and she's like, I will wait for you.
That was really sweet.
Oh,
That was really romantic.
across oceans of time to be with you.
But Moiraine tells her if the White Tower does not bend the knee to Randall Thor, he will not win the last
Mhm.
battle.
Boom, boom, boom. It's a new challenge.
And this tower is in no way prepared to bend the knee to
Absolutely
Randall
not.
Thor.
Like, what happens? Elida's like, I told you she was trying to take this shit down from the inside. Like, any trust,
Hmm.
or maybe allegiance they may have formed in, her near-death experience will be erased by this.
While she's on her farewell visit, Egwene goes and visits her friends, pops into their dreams, sees what
Hmm.
everyone's dreaming about.
Hmm.
Nynaeve is dreaming about Elnor, which I thought was so sad and so sweet,
Very sweet.
but so sad.
But it made me happy that they can be together in dreams. But,
Yeah.
you know, she must wake up and just feel like that pain all over again.
Right, right. And she did say she's forgotten a lot of what she saw in the arches. So maybe it's not as sharp a pain anymore.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Elaine dreams about becoming a windfinder and having
Mm.
Avienda on the ship with her, which is like an Aiel on a boat. Like, like this doesn't even make any sense.
Well, it is a dream.
It is a dream. Did you notice she had a big ass scar on her face too?
No, I didn't. I noticed that that head wrap was too tight.
She's keeping her wig on. There's a lot of wind. But yeah, she had a big scar on her cheek, and I was like, that's so interesting. Like, are you a pirate now? Like, that's the life you're
Hmm.
dreaming about.
Yeah. Just freedom, literal freedom.
Yeah. Matt is dreaming about being with his family again and them being proud of him and
Hmm.
happy, and his mom saying she's proud of him. And they, of course, had to do that to break my heart because now I
Hmm.
know his mom is dead, and that the last words they had is she told him he was a prick just like his father.
Yep. And the other thing about his mom is just like not only that she was proud of him, not only that he and the family were safe, but his mom was like a proper Two Rivers woman with her braids.
And she looked so much nicer. She didn't look stressed out. She
Yeah.
looked healthy and happy, and Matt, his
Yep.
hair was combed and
He had the slick back.
yeah.
Mad rings, more rings than before.
But yeah, his mom saying, "I'm proud of you," broke my heart because he's never
Mm.
gonna see her again. And I was like, I need financial compensation for this.
Emotional
This
damage.
emotional damage. I'm suing for damages.
Oh.
We see Perrin with Fail, so we see where
Hmm.
that's heading. And Hopper, his dog, which I
No.
also thought was really sweet. He's
Yeah.
dreaming of
He's like,
Hopper as
Hopper,
his
get
dog.
down.
And then,
No. I can't wait for him to bond another wolf.
and then, Rand and
Mm.
Lanfear
That shiesty ass bitch.
getting busy on the rocks.
Egwene was like, save the best for last. What is my boo dreaming of? Even though, like, this is a place where maybe we can just, like, reconnect because now I have this, I know how to harness this ability. And not only is he there, he's like in the Two Rivers at a place that he really loves. And that must be heartwarming too. And then
hmm
she sees the hand creep around the back of his neck.
But it's like not only is he dreaming of another woman, which, all right, it's a dream. You can't really hold that against him.
Mm-mm.
But it's this woman
This bitch.
who's been torturing you for how long now?
Like that flashback where she's like, oh my God, it's like, it's her. It's been her all along.
Yeah.
That realization. And there she is. She's taking off his clothes and he's kissing on her neck. And like you see her heartbreak in her
Yeah.
stomach.
And Lanfear is looking right at her, like, yep, watch.
Ooh.
My heart broke for her. He obviously knows who Lanfear is if he's
Hmm.
dreaming about her.
Yeah. She's not a mysterious woman who keeps reappearing. And like the way that, like, you have to know about her, because I'm trying to think, has Moiraine out loud spoken about Lanfear?
To
I don't
Egwene?
remember. Just in general to all of them in The
I
Forsaken.
don't
I
think
don't
so.
remember.
She's not one
Um,
to just give information.
that's true. She'd be holding on to that shit real tight. I wanted to ask you, like, okay, you see this happen, your heart is broken, like, but does this make you want to learn more about how to control your dreams and be a better dream walker? Because it would make me want to.
Yeah, because now you realize you might have to fight her in a dream. But
Hmm.
then it comes down to what is Rand gonna do when they're both in his dream? What is he gonna do?
Awkward. What can he do?
Who does he
Like,
protect? Is he
Who
gonna
does he
protect Egwene?
protect?
Because he was defensive about Egwene when she called her a doe-eyed cow, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was. He's like, don't talk about my girl like that. Like, we can kiss and shit, but don't talk about my girl like that. Yeah, I mean, because they're definitely like we've been set up to know that this is something that is coming. And it's just like, where do your loyalties lie, Rand? Like for real. For real. Because it's not like Egwene is gonna be like, I was in your dream and you didn't see me and you were kissing up on this bitch. Because then Rand could be like, wait, you were in my dream? How did you get there?
What a
It's kind of an
violation.
invasion of privacy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a violation.
Yikes. Before you ask, I did like this episode. It
I
was
thought it
super
was
fun
another
for
good
me.
one.
Yeah, no complaints. I do really wish that Alana would have been light on the fog. Like, I
Yeah,
know how fog works, and it does like come over the mountains and that kind of stuff, but that's kind of a morning thing.
yeah, she was too heavy-handed with it. But she's also working by herself. She's far away. She probably couldn't judge how much there was. She's
Hmm.
trying to create cover as best she can.
Yeah, I
I don't
guess.
hold it against her. The only person I was really pissed off at this episode was Maxim. The others
Maxim.
annoyed me, but Maxim,
Yeah.
I just felt like Maxim should have been executed.
Well,
I felt very strongly about his betrayal because his
yeah.
betrayal almost got her killed.
Yeah. I guess they'll have to talk about it soon.
Yeah.
And on some, don't you ever fucking do next time you do that, I will kill you.
See, there wouldn't be a next time for me.
Take a finger. We're all about
Taking digits.
taking digits.
He needs his fingers, though. He's a swordsman. Take a toe.
But you need those for balance.
Mm. Slice his pretty face.
Mm. Give him a scar, but that's gonna make him hotter.
Take his nose.
Ugh. Ugh, Tyrion, book Tyrion.
Exactly. No
Ugh.
bouncing back from that.
No, no plastic surgeons and in the two rivers. Just be fucked. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Tanchico. I'm looking forward to maybe getting Queen Morgaze in the court.
Hmm.
I am looking forward to seeing Moghedien. Like, we got to see her again soon.
Hmm.
Her sly little fox ass. I'm looking forward to know what Homegirl's up to with Lan because I'm fucking suspicious of her.
Very suspicious of her.
Who else haven't we seen in a while?
You know who I want to see? Tom
Who?
Maryland. He just kind of disappeared.
Oh, that's Lan's stepdaddy? I mean,
No, the
that's
Gleeman.
oh yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Because we
wait,
didn't see him die.
don't get me started about off-screen
The
deaths, Tanya.
Blackfish is dead. But we did not
Mm.
see Tom Maryland die. We saw him fighting.
Yeah. And what's his name with the fucking curly perm?
Paddon Fane.
Hadden Fane.
Yeah, where's Paddon Fane and what's he up to?
I feel like it would be really cool to run into him in Tanchico.
Yeah.
Like he would be the one who would out them and tell Leandrin that they're there. And shout out to Max Silva who listened to our podcast. And what I really liked about what he said is that, one of us has read the books, and that's Tanya, and he was saying that she's really open to the adaptation, which she has been. Thanks for seeing us and commenting.
Of course.
So yeah, I mean, shout out to everybody who's been listening because we have so much fun
We do.
talking about this. We understand that it gets unhinged sometimes, but it's just part of our charm.
And on that note,
Yeah,
I've been Tanya.
I'm always Nikki.
See you for episode 6.
Bye.
For previous episodes, find us at thousandeyespod.bsky.social. On YouTube, you can find us at 1,000 Eyes in One Podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are 1,000 Eyes in One on Instagram and Facebook, 1,000 Eyes Pod on Blue Sky, and if you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, follow Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.